This energy reading and healing is focused on blame, on blaming, on passing the buck, on rejecting, on holding responsibility for others or self for a wrongness or a fault. It's criticism, condemning, chiding, and really focusing on that sense of wrongness, that in order for blame to exist, there needs to be an attribution of responsibility for a fault or wrongness. And it's really the wrongness that I want to explore in this particular energy reading and healing.
Hello, my name is Rebel Black, and I am a human agronomist and metaphysical muse gifted with the art of guiding people to experience their deepest desires, to move through their pain, and live as their most enlivened, energetic expression. In this session, I shall be guiding you through a protocol called forensic healing, with the pure intention for you to experience energetic alignment and healing as a result of this experience. Of course, healing can only occur when all parties involved in the healing space take full responsibility for their own well-being and when they also believe that healing can occur. I want you to know that I have full faith that whatever it is that you are listening to this to resolve, heal, or clear can be achieved, and whatever messages, memories, or insights you gain today, you are ready to receive, and it will be in your highest good to heal and activate. I want you to know that you are safe in this healing. So please make sure you are in a place where you feel safe. Forensic healing does not promote the functions of medical diagnosis or prescribed medication. So please consider what is explored in this session as general in nature and seek further medical support from a qualified physician should you feel the need to. I like to describe forensic healing as a tool that helps identify, make sense of, and get to the root cause of any patterns that have played a big role in our life but are now limiting us, and to heal that pattern once and for all. Most healing is symptom focused, but forensic healing gets to the truth and heals forward and backwards in our lineage, allowing us to be free and for us to experience life in new ways. It is particularly useful for healing the root cause of any symptoms you might be experiencing in your life, including in relationships, career, finances, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and in your life in general. As I work through this healing protocol, I shall be using a number of different scan lists to identify the key aspects of the case. You may hear me counting numbers, or there may be periods of silence. What I'm doing in those moments is using muscle testing to tune into the correct information on the scan list as it relates to your case in particular. The information I share as we move through the protocol may trigger particular memories for you. Trust that these memories are clues to the pattern and are often your first or one of your first experiences of the pattern in your life. And I want you to know that if something is triggered for you and you feel deeply or strongly as a result, you won't experience the feeling for long if you really allow yourself the time and space to feel the feelings that come up and continue to move through with the healing. This protocol works really effectively and quickly. And I want you to remember you can pause this recording at any time and take notes, express the emotion, move your body, but I do recommend that you listen to the whole session in one sitting. It is now time to set your intention for this healing. What is it that you are here to be guided on? Is there something that is causing you distress or discomfort that you want to explore or shift? Is there a bigger intention you are looking for, or are simply trusting you will be guided? Please note this down somewhere so you can refer to it at the end. Our relationship to our body is really important in healing, as it provides messages, and we use it as a way to identify whether our healing work is having an effect. So, for your reference, please note down the answers to the next few questions, as we will refer to them at the end of the healing. So, can I ask that you please now tune into your body and scan with your mind's eye to see if there are any areas of discomfort or disharmony. Identify where the sensation is and give the sensation a rating out of 10. 0 being barely noticeable and 10 being incredibly sensational. I'm now going to invite you to get to know this sensation a bit better. Please just trust that the first thing that comes to mind is the right thing, even if it seems odd. When you tune into the sensation, what shape is it? Does it have color? What color is it? Is it moving or static? And what feeling or emotion does it tell you it is? Now we are ready to heal. I've already opened the healing case, so we will move straight into the forensic healing protocols. So please make sure that you're comfortable, in a place you won't be disturbed, and perhaps you have some water and tissues nearby. Enjoy.
So the first thing that tested up in focusing on blame was the archetype of the ruler. And the ruler is very desirous of power, is domineering, is competitive. And so that makes sense in the context of blame, that blame would be a very useful tool or weapon for the archetype of the ruler. The life patterns that came through were around life purpose and the victim and being victimized, I guess. One of the aspects of being blamed for things would be that there was a sense of being a victim of somebody else who was the perpetrator of the blame. And it relates to that sort of sense of life purpose and not being able to really live life fully because you kind of sitting in that victim space. The emotion that came through was guilt, and that of course aligns also with the victim and feeling guilty if you are either blaming someone or are being blamed. So it's that, and maybe it's not so much about guilt that is correct or is an emotion that is required because you've done something wrong. Blame does not imply that you have done something wrong. It implies that you haven't and you're being discharged with that. So guilt came through very much to be healed, and the opposite of guilt is healed, so feeling healed. It came through in the context of life, so the negative life pattern at the moment is around life. And so this either blaming or being blamed, and it could be both, it could be one or the other more strongly, and you'll know if you've come to this reading, you'll know which it is for you. But at the moment, it's really running a negative life engine for you. So it's a really big part of the story that's being told or you're telling, and it's really ready for that pattern to end. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come through today. But it's if we can clear this and move into a different energetic state, then your life will be much more easily freed up. The age that came through was age 6. So I'm not sure if a particular feeling, emotion, story, situation, example comes through for you at age 6, where you're in a dynamic where there's someone desiring of power that's really competitive. It could be you, might be a part of yourself that you're denying, where you're feeling like a victim or you are being a perpetrator, and where there's guilt, high degrees of guilt, that really is feeling like it's ruining your life. It feels like that is the word. It's ruining my life. It's ruining my life, I keep hearing. And so it's at age 6, that's a very young age, but it is the time where we're really, more fully immersed in that developmental socialization that's going on at school, and getting more responsibility and those sorts of things. Depending on where you lie in the family, there could be sort of unfair blame going on, being sort of scapegoated or taking responsibility for siblings, and or being blamed for things, being blamed for emotions, for eliciting or causing emotions of parents who might be stressed or under pressure or in overwhelm, and then you get the blame for their scenario or situation. And an example of that would be telling a child to be quiet when they're just having a beautiful fun, squealing, being excited, and the parent says, "Be quiet, you're giving mummy a headache." That's blame. And so that's the sort of thing that could be going on, a very subtle but very energetically detrimental way. The next layer of information came through, which was really about the waste of energy that blame has. So it's almost like it's the sludge left over from other, energetic expressions. And that there's very much this skewed love, that there's this sense of, I would always want to say narcissism, that it keeps you trapped in this kind of energetic wasteland when it comes to, feeling and experiencing and embodying love. It came through in the emotional body and the auric system and related to the impact on creativity, that this sense of blame and victimhood has stifled creativity or created a rip or a tear in the energetic system. And it came through in the chakra in the base. So this is very primal, very base, and actually it came tested up as survival. So it may be that you have used blame as a mechanism for survival. It was safer and easier in your early years to blame somebody else for something than it was to take responsibility for the thing yourself. And then that became a pattern which kept you stuck or trapped in the guilt shame spiral. And that whenever there's a figure in your life that's kind of powerful or competitive, this blame becomes one of your tools, one of the arsenals, tools in your arsenal to survive yourself, to survive your life, essentially. And so that can even happen from a success point of view. So we may suppress our, innate competitiveness, for example, but we may also, if things aren't going our way and it seems like we're going to be failing, that we would be looking for blame to make, to be able to sort of survive those big feelings of disappointment and shame and, those other things that then might see a ruler type archetype in our lives sated, whereas if they thought it was us, there might be repercussions. It came through also again in the teenage years. It was done to the self, so there was external players, but really the belief was ingrained by self. There was something about a family occasion that came through. It related to pain, and that could be physical, emotional, spiritual, psychological pain, and missing fragments. So it's almost like there's pieces of you missing as a result. Or what I'm also seeing is like every time you blame, even though it might seem like a small thing, you're throwing away a little piece of your energetic integrity and giving it away. And so now there's these missing fragments of yourself that we need to reclaim and bring home. It definitely related to the emotional body. There was strong emotions sitting in this. Blame is a strong emotion. It elicits strong emotions. It's very catalytic, not necessarily in a positive way. And it does see the power balance shift and create, and it's very easy to be imbalanced. And then therefore create pain in relationships, in self, in dynamic. And so this is big things, maybe you've come up with a particular story or something that's quite specific to be healed. Maybe there's something more general in your life. I guess what I see this as is a calling to stop blaming, to take full responsibility, to catch yourself when you're criticizing, blaming, looking for fault, putting responsibility for your stuff onto other people, rejecting, passing the buck, trying to scapegoat. And, it's really just a call back to, true responsibility, true self-responsibility, but also not taking responsibility for what is actually other people's stuff, but also not blaming them for that. So there's a balance, there's a fine line, actually, for us to walk at this point. So if you're ready to heal this and move on from it, then I would really encourage you to proclaim and exclaim out loud, yes, I'm ready to heal, or something along those lines. And we will move forward into the healing part of this reading. So the first thing that came through to be healed was selective memory, and that the sort of negative aspect of ourselves has created this situation where we're diverted, our attention is diverted from any therapeutic or supportive activity that would weaken the negative, internal dialogue's power. So this is very much the ruler, and it's an internal thing, like we said, it's the self. And so it's like all the things that could help you, whether it might be listening to a healing like this, for example, or going off to a healer, or getting advice or taking advice, or medication if there's, some level of support that's really going to be helped with that. It's like it's making you forgetful so that you stay in this victim blame kind of energy. And it just essentially drains your life. But it's in the pattern's best interest to stay there. What particularly came through was the thought that you've got a lot of things to worry about. And, if you've got a lot of things to worry about, then it seems easy to blame. It's like, I'll just take some of those things off my plate and pass them to someone else. I'll pass the buck to someone else. And so if we've got the story in our mind, I've got so much things to worry about, it keeps us small. It keeps us in that victim, victim and out of power space. And so we want to heal that first. So I'm going to repeat some statements. You're going to say them after me with enthusiasm and commitment, and where I say my name, you're going to be saying yours, and we will heal this pattern and this particular element once and for all. We will begin. I, Rebel, cancel, void and reject the parasitic demonic entity causing the effect of selective memory to forget therapy, support, or medication. I, Rebel, reject and refuse the lies the parasitic entity voices tell me that I've got a lot of things to worry about. I acknowledge the lies and deception of this parasitic entity and reclaim control over my mind, thoughts, sovereignty, birthright, and divinity. I reclaim the truth that my life is in my hands, that I have the power to choose, that there is abundance in my life and everything is taken care of, that I can remember all the things I need for my needs and my wants to be fully met easily. I close all harmful portholes, gateways, grid systems, stargates, and access routes to my energy field, and refuse any demonic or parasitic entity access to my mind, body, and soul. I choose to live as a sovereign, powerful, divine being, and only accept information and connection from the pure organic source energy. I choose to live in oneness with humanity from this point forward. I am blessed and I am free. Take a nice big deep breath in, and we're going to shake it out. Really, really shake it out. Paying attention to any parts of yourselves where there was sensation earlier. Yawning, moving, stamping your feet if it feels good. Get up and move. Really get going. Great work. Well done. Okay, the next thing that we're going to move to heal is a letting go healing on pain. That was what tested through for us to work on. And again, you're going to repeat these statements after me, saying your name where I say mine. We will begin. I, Rebel, now request the powers of divine light, divine healing, divine blessings, and divine source to safely release, detach, remove, and disconnect all negative attachments and connections to pain. I now choose to free myself, release and let go of all negative cords, attachments, ties, guilt feelings, and anything that keeps me attached to pain relating to age 6. I choose to free and empower my life and my choices. It is my gift to be and live in my power. These negative attachments and connections are now dissolved with love and light. You are now free from this point forward. Great work. Just breathe deeply into your body as you listen to these words. I request healing sound frequencies to reconnect and realign your DNA, your RNA, chromosomes, wormholes, nucleotides, and hypercommunication. I request the purification and cleansing process of white and gold, pure organic light, dissolve all negative energies and attachments from you, from myself, from this room, from this building, from this surrounding area, and anything or anyone affected by this healing. I request closure and disabling of harmful portals, gateways, channels, stargates, NAA firewalls, and access routes to other dimensions and realities, controlling, interfering, or siphoning your soul and energy life force. I confirm the etheric, astral, mental, and causal light bodies are all cleansed and strengthened, and that all Sephirotic healing forces are activated and connected to the organic, pure, white light source for the opening of the crystal rose heart and activation of your diamond sun body. I confirm and invoke the Christ consciousness light and request the guardians and angels to pour blessings upon you for all the things you stand in need of. May they guide and protect you to obtain soul freedom and sovereignty. I ask that they guide and protect you and lead you on a path of empowerment for the evolution of your soul and humanity. I ask that healing may continue throughout this time and that you may always know you are of divine infinite worth and hold the power and choice for your transformation. I confirm these requests have taken place and this healing is complete.
As you re-enter the full experience of your body and surroundings, please just tune back into your body and particularly into the sensation you identified at the beginning of the healing. What's the rating now? Has it shifted? What is the shape and colour? And what feeling is attributed now? If you think about the issue that you came in to heal, what's your experience of it? Whatever it is, that is perfect. It may be similar or the same or completely different. Perhaps the sensation is gone altogether. Just know that the healing is complete. Sometimes it takes a little while for our person to catch up with the healing that's already been done. So please be kind to yourself always, but particularly so over the next 48 hours or so. Drink plenty of water, ground yourself by eating nourishing foods, whole grains and vegetables, and move your body to support any further shifting that wants to be had. Our energetics can shift quickly, but sometimes our body and our behavior takes a bit to catch up. So please just pay attention to that and reach out into the Wild Women group if you require any support to enhance your integration. Remember, you are love and you are a powerful co-creator in your life, and you are here to be enlivened and to have fun. May you bloom where you are. May your bower be blessed. And may you always know your wild worth.